Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Crypto Takeover coming back with a Bitcoin cryptocurrency video for you this evening. And we're going to be taking a look at a few news articles, some bullish news articles, as well as some TA based on some other articles that we found. And then we're going to go over our TA and see how it may compare to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's sitting right at about 18,400. So it had a nice little spike up over the past night. And yeah, we're going to jump on into it. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, if you are brand new to this channel, we use the Market Cipher Indicator by CryptoFace alongside with the TI Sequential by Tonebase and the Market Guide buy and sell signals. So once we jump on over into our charts, we'll take a look at those indicators. If you want to purchase those indicators, you can find the links in the description box below. Those help support the channel too as well, as well as pretty much all the links in the description box. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started here. And let's see, India's bank are gone once, or are once more serving crypto traders and exchanges. So as we know, India's been in the news quite a bit when it comes to crypto, as you know, supporting crypto, not supporting crypto. You know, they just go back and forth. And I mean, this is just like you see some of these big investors too. I mean, they're constantly either ragging on crypto or they're talking about how good it is, and it's just funny. It's just funny, man, because they cannot make up their minds, it seems like. But at the same time, more or less, it's probably just the news articles that are coming out at the time based on the price action too that's occurring in the or inside of the crypto space. So obviously, we're gonna have bullish news whenever things are at an all-time high, right? And that's exactly where we're at. And we've seen nothing but bullish news come out here lately. So banks in India are doing business with select cryptocurrency exchanges and their customers. Top institutions such as the State Bank of India, ICICI Bank, and Yes Bank are allowing customers to use their bank to fund cryptocurrency trading. They are further offering various facilities to cryptocurrency exchanges. Sources familiar with the matter told the Economic Times accounts of major exchanges have been suspended after the Reserve Bank of India issued an order barring banks from using their system for cryptocurrency related transactions in April 2018. The ban was squashed by the Supreme Court earlier this year. So obviously, you know, now that people are starting to FOMO in, of course they're going to let you trade crypto. You know what I'm saying? But at the time when things were at a low, when you should have been buying, oh, you can't do that. You know, you can't use crypto, blah, blah, blah. Banks earlier in their took cautious approach after a Supreme Court overruled the central bank's crypto ban in March. Founder and CEO exchange BitBins told CoinDesk to an email, but the time of the price momentum around Bitcoin at plus 2%, a lot more clients started demanding them to open up an account specific to crypto trading, and banks have started opening up them now. So obviously they know that, you know, these banks are either going to have to jump on board or they're going to get left behind, right? Bitcoin recently rose to a record high, previous peak related to December 2017. Mumbai-based cryptocurrency exchange CoinDCX confirmed via WhatsApp that his exchange has been collaborating with multiple bank partners to build and develop business services ever since the Supreme Court was overturned. Meanwhile, CEO Binance-backed cryptocurrency exchange Wozniak told CoinDesk that banks are reached out to the company to offer working capital to other loans and financial services. So, you know, these banks are going to have to jump on board with these crypto exchanges, man. You know, you're going to probably see a lot of these exchanges start to do, you know, different things with such as like Coinbase, Binance, you know, so these banks are going to have to collaborate either way, right, to jump on board and figure out how they can fit themselves into the new ecosystem, right, of the cryptocurrency space. This is all part of the takeover, and it's happening now, whether or not you like it or not. You can position yourself now and make sure that you do have, you know, at least a way to better yourself in the future, right? Because I believe that the change is inevitable. Obviously, none of this and anything that I say on here is financial advice, but take it for what it is and do your own due diligence and research and going further into this space. So why 2021 is set to be an even bigger for Bitcoin or cryptocurrency. So this is out of the Forbes article here. So let's see what this is all about. This is very interesting. Bitcoin is coming to an end one of the biggest years in the short history. The Bitcoin price has surged through 2020, reclaiming the 2017 all-time highs, finding support from Wall Street and some of the world's biggest investors. Now with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency community looking forward to slew the developments in 2021, including much anticipated launch of Facebook's Bitcoin-inspired cryptocurrency and potential industry-defining U.S. cryptocurrency regulations. Wall Street giant Wells Fargo has said it expects to be discussing the digital asset space more next year. So obviously, even so, Wells Fargo, still maybe a little bit speculative, because who owns Wells Fargo? Isn't that our big billionaire that could never jump on board with crypto and had a meeting with Justin Sun and still didn't like crypto, right? So that just goes to show that, well, they're gonna wait one more year, maybe, and this is just obviously these are just the front runner media people that are saying, well, we're gonna wait one more year. In the background, they're probably developing a bunch of different mechanisms to be able to move into this space smoothly and seamlessly, to where when the time's right, the forefront in the media will tell them, okay, now you can invest with us with your cryptocurrency or whatever. Over the past 12 years, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency have risen from literally nothing to 560 billion in market capitalization. John LaForge, head of real asset strategy at Wells Fargo, wrote in an investment strategy report this week. So, I mean, obviously the Wells Fargo asset strategist, I guess, knows that Bitcoin's pretty much here to stay. Fads don't typically last 12 years. There are good reasons for this, reasons that every investor should hear. As we roll into 2021, we'll be discussing the digital asset space more, its upside and downside. LaForge pointed to Bitcoin 170% gain this year. That's on top of the 90% gain it had in 2019, naming cryptocurrency investing as a bit like living in the early days of the 1850s gold rush, which involved more speculating than investing. As well as speculative interest from traditional investors, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency have been in a surge in take-up from the likes and payments giants PayPal, Square this year, something that's expected to have an impact in 2021. 2021 really centers around the continual improvements in continuity between traditional markets and crypto markets. Pierce Cosby, general manager of financial data company TradingView, said via email, a perfect example would be Square's Bitcoin offering, PayPal's payment via crypto. There are many such use cases for crypto, and we expect these to expand rapidly in the coming year. Trading will still be a reflective of this adoptive curve. The higher the adoption, the more bullish the overall trading mix will be, which is a bullish base case for major crypto assets. And then it looks like we have a comparison here from gold, the S&P, and the Bitcoin price, and you can see Bitcoin just outperforming everything, gold, S&P, this past year. So, obviously it's here to stay. It's not a fad. If you haven't jumped on board yet, what are you doing? We have a beginner's course in the description box below if you want to check that out. If you're brand new into crypto and you're just finding this video, I highly suggest that you take a beginner course in crypto, so that way you can stay safe out there, learn how to store your crypto safely on a private ledger, hardware wallet, learn about what exchanges we're using to dollar cost average into this market too as well. But yeah, if you are wanting to learn a little bit more fast paced, there is a course available for you in the description box below. Bitcoin's volatility took center stage this year, according to Crosby, with the Bitcoin price falling in the lows of around 4,000 per Bitcoin during the March coronavirus crash, before sharply rebounding, but added it's almost impossible to pass over the summer of DeFi, which encoded, that was my alarm going off, but has also impossible to pass over the summer of DeFi, which echoed the initial coin offering ICO boom back in 2017. Ethereum, the world's largest cryptocurrency by value, second largest to Bitcoin, has soared over 300% over the last 12 months amid a flurry of interest in decentralized finance using crypto technology to recreate traditional financial instruments such as loans and insurance, with many DeFi projects built on top of Ethereum in the network. From the trading perspective, most of the year has been on yield and structured products, which seen a huge wave of future products and options products come to the market, and it's likely more will follow soon. We have seen some of the edge case crypto assets become mainstream as well, and this should continue into the year. So obviously, you know, Uniswap was a big part of Bitcoin or cryptocurrency this past year too as well, with the DeFi boom kind of happening and seeing that take place as well. So let's jump over on into what the analysis are saying about XRP, Ethereum, and Litecoin. So here we go. It's a choppy start to the day with Ripple's XRP recovering from its early tumble. Expect the pivot in support and resistance levels to be in play. So as you know, Ripple does have its airdrop that is taking place, or I say airdrop, snapshot that is taking place today. We don't know when the actual airdrop will take place. It could take a while, I'm assuming, but obviously the snapshot is today. So I actually had a previous video that was did very well actually on how to participate in this snapshot if you wanted to through the Exodus wallet. So I believe you can search for that, and I believe that it was probably one of the first ones to pop up for a lot of people. So thanks for everyone commenting and liking on that video too as well. So the snapshot will take place with XRP today, and then we'll figure out when the actual airdrop occurs later. Ethereum fell by a further 2.65% on Friday, following from its 2.61% decline. Ethereum ended the day at 544. It's a mixed start. Ethereum rose to an early morning intraday high, 560, before hitting reverse, falling short of the first major previous resistance levels at 57.35. Ethereum slid to the mid-morning intraday low at 535. Finding support at 445 before brief recovery. 550 levels. The bearish day at the end saw major support level at 554 at the time of the day. Ethereum's about 553. Okay, early morning before rising to 554. Ethereum major support line and resistance untested early on. Okay, so not really clear where they're headed here with we'll take a look at their chart. Obviously, you know, Bitcoin or Ethereum sitting under some key support levels. This is the hourly chart, so this was actually released a little bit earlier today. For the day ahead, let's see, find support, first major resistance level at 558. Friday's high, okay, blah blah blah. The second major resistance level 571. So we're basically looking for a retest probably to that $600 area. Failed to avoid, it fell back through. Support level at 534. Second major support at 521. Okay. And then if we are to dip lower, that's what they're saying we could do. So we'll take a look at our charts and see how it compares possibly. And here is a little bit of Litecoin. Litecoin maybe having a little bit of pump here on their hourly chart. So we'll have to see where Litecoin's sitting at as of right now. But let's see, Litecoin would need to avoid the fall back through to $72. Major resistance level at $74, 75. Resistance level at $77, at $80. And looking for support maybe at about 67. Okay, cool. So that's for their Litecoin analysis here. And then we have Ripple's XRP analysis. Ripple obviously taking a little bit of a dive, obviously from the snapshot, people wanting to sell everything after that snapshot takes place too as well. You know, I'm thinking we could have a little bit of a dive here for Ripple, but we'll have to kind of take a look at the charts and see how much further we want to go. So for the day ahead, 55 cent pivot level, back through to 58 levels. So 59 would likely be a cap to the upside. And 62 is a fib retracement level, fall back through to 55 cents, support level at 52. Early morning low 48, sub 48 levels. The second major level supports it's around 49 cents. Okay, so possibly Ripple or XRP going back into the $40 or 40 cent range area too as well. So let's take a look at the chart, see what's happening here. Hopping on over here, we'll get rid of a few of these things here. So I was just doing some analysis for our Patreon members pretty much yesterday, wanting to go over some of the charts here. So if you are interested in joining us in our Patreon page, we talk about how we trade the Bitcoin market, and then also what altcoins we're getting into, ready for the altcoin boom and bang season in 2021. because I do believe that 2021 will be a definitely bull shift for us too as well. So look here at the daily. At the daily right now, we're kind of seeing somewhat of a doji candle form for us too, finding support at our 21 EMA. So that's a nice little support level for us as of right now on the daily time frame. Money flow still looking really good. VWAP set it to the upside, possible green dot that's ready to signal for us here too as well. And let's go on into some of the lower time frames here. 12 hours, seeing a nice little green dot here with a nice move to the upside with some of our candles. Not quite in green Heikin-Ashi candles just yet, but I would imagine that we're starting to get that first sign of a bullish count. We did have a 9 on the reversal here, and so now we're seeing our first sign of some bullish counts happening there. So let's take a look at the 10 hour. First sign of some green Heikin-Ashi candles here too. Starting to see a little bit of a rise. Money flow still kind of trickling down just a tad bit. So what we'd want to see now is, okay, this is obviously looks a little bit more bearish with our money flow heading to the downside. We want to see if some of our lower time frames below our 10 hour are starting to recover with the money flow. So let's take a look at maybe the 8 hour. 8 hour still looking pretty bearish, you know, starting to dip into that red money flow, but we're having our first sign of some green Heikin-Ashis there too. Let's take a look at the 4 hour, kind of dip a little bit lower here. 4 hour obviously moving into that red money flow here, but maybe wanting to find a little bit of a peak to the upside. So let's see what our other time frames on the lower end are showing us. 2 hour, are we seeing any recovery just yet? 2 hour green money flow also kind of headed to the upside here too. I'd be a little cautious though, because it looks like we are probably about to put in a red dot here and maybe see a little bit of retracement, probably maybe back down to retest this trend line here for support. But I do believe that we're probably going to consolidate out on this trend line here all the way to the end of maybe right before Christmas, December 15th or so. So yeah, we still got some time, but it looks like a few more days could pass, and then we'll probably see a break from one direction or the other on this triangle. And I would imagine it'd be a pretty big break too as well. So taking a look at the 90-minute time frame, you can also see that we're starting to recover just a tad bit here. We did come up and retest this trend line here on our 90-minute time frame, and this is what we were looking for. We were looking for a retest back here at this 90-minute time frame. We're going to see if we can break through this or not. Obviously, we might have a pretty good chance with money flow headed in that same direction too. We're going to be looking for a retest, probably maybe up at this trend line here too, if not getting some rejection here at this top trend line before we decide to break out. But it does look like we could be breaking out by next week, so I'd be prepared for that if we are from one direction to the other. But this is something, these are some lines you can draw on your chart if you're interested. So jumping back into the daily here, let's go over into Ethereum. Let's take a look at our dominance chart really quick just to see where our dominance is sitting at. Dominance on the daily chart is looking really good. Money flow still headed in an upside direction here too for the most part. We are getting a buy signal on our daily time frame here with Bitcoin dominance and starting to find support above that 21 EMA too as of right now with our one-day chart. So the dominance chart looks actually really good on our daily here. It does look like we've gotten our first sign of that buy signal there on our hash ribbons too. So I would imagine that we're probably going to have a pretty bullish move here with our dominance chart headed to the upside. The 12 hour still looks nice. The 10 hour also looking like a nice buy signal there too, headed to the upside. So let's take a look at our 2-day chart and kind of get a broader perspective of this. What we're looking for is probably a retest back at around the 65% area for Bitcoin dominance, and then maybe a final retest at about the 68% level for another bullish move to the upside. 2-day also money flow is looking really nice. We have a tight momentum wave here triggering us back to the upside. Looking at the 3-day, let's see, possibly a green dot ready to form here on the 3-day chart too as well, which would be relatively bullish for us on the dominance chart too as well. All right, folks, let's take a look at Ethereum. Let's go on into Ethereum, and then we'll take a look at the dollar. We'll take a look at XRP and then Litecoin too as well. Might as well. So let's take a look at ETH. Ethereum, going on into the daily chart. Let's see where we're at. Still finding support here on the 21 EMA, so this is still pretty nice. We haven't really had a strong dip below the 21 EMA just yet, although we are kind of clipping just a tad bit. I would imagine that this would probably still recover just like Bitcoin has with a nice doji candle here. It may be signal a reversal, so what we'd probably want to see is maybe a 9 on the TI sequential to signal us back up to the upside here too as well. Momentum kind of moving off to the side, or VWAP's also kind of moving to the side, maybe ready to get some more price action here after the dominance chart starts to take a little bit of a break for the most part. Looking at the 12 hour here, it does look like we are starting to move back to the upside. We're we're still in our reddish Heikin-Ashi areas, but getting a nice green dot here with the bullish divergence. We definitely could be moving further up from here too. We probably want to find support above the 21 EMA on our 12-hour, and then that would give us a nice support above our 21 EMA on the daily too as well, and maybe even a retest at this purple trend line here. We've been pivoting off of it, having a bullish bounce above it and then coming back down, so we'd probably want to see another retest there at about $600 or so. I would imagine if we get through $600, we're looking at about $632 or so. But let's find support here on our 21 EMA. If we aren't finding support there, we're looking at about another dip, possibly lower than that. I would imagine we'll have to see how this squeeze wants to play out here on the 10-hour too as well. But as you can see, even on our 10-hour, we're starting to get a little bit of a dip into our reddish money flow too as well. So if we start to zoom in just a tad bit here, same thing we did with Bitcoin, we're waiting for our money flow to move back to the upside here. And that's definitely what it looks like it's wanting to do. Possibly we'll have to kind of play it, you know, going on forward to see where we're going to be headed to. This is very interesting looking at the 90-minute time frame. This is also where we were getting some nice trendline resistance areas on Bitcoin too as well, was on the 90-minute time frame. You can see somewhat of a little bit of a head and shoulders, an inverse head and shoulders pattern forming here, and what we'd want to look for is a retest at the 576 area and then possibly a break above that. So let's keep an eye on Ethereum, see where that's kind of playing out. What we could do is probably just set a trend line signal for us here. So we'll set a little bit of a trend line alert for us, add an alert, boom. I'll say once per bar close, how about that? I think I like the bar closes just to get a better reference of where we're sitting at. Ethereum 2-hour, or this is 90-minute bullish break. Let's just name it that there. And then we'll get a nice little signal sent to us whenever we decide to break above that. All right, let's take a look at Litecoin. All right, let's jump on over into XRP. How about that? Let's jump over into XRP. So we were sitting at with XRP here. XRP still finding some resistance at this trend line. We tried so hard to break through it, and we had some wicks above it, never quite closed above it, so that was our downfall there. But the 90-minute time frame still sitting nicely in the red there, and if we start to zoom out here, we'll see how much this is actually recovering compared to maybe Ethereum or something. But as of right now, it looks like it's ready to continue to die off. 4 hours still headed to the downside. 6-hour money flow also headed to the downside. It doesn't look like it wants to recover anytime soon, sitting right under 50 cents or so. So obviously great scooping up buying opportunity for Ripple or XRP. But looking here at the daily time frame, let's take a look here. Have we dipped below our 21 EMA? It does look like we are dipping below that. We are maybe going to confirm a sell signal here on our daily time frame too. So it does look relatively bearish for right now, but we are also going to be taking possibly a look at this later on during the day and see exactly where this wants to go for the most part. Obviously, with Bitcoin kind of taking off, the dominance chart does look like it wants to take off too, and we probably would want to see Bitcoin kind of settle down and then money move back into some of these altcoins too as well. But Ripple definitely looking interesting as of right now. We do have a 9 here on the TI sequential on the daily, but we'd have to I'm still not seeing this recover very well here on the daily time frame. So it does look like Ripple could be headed back down a little bit further. We'll just kind of have to keep an eye on that chart as well too. So let's jump on over into Litecoin. Where is my Litecoin at? Litecoin to USD. Let's see where we're sitting at here on the daily time frame. Daily time frame did give us a sell signal on the daily. It's done that before, but we had a nice little recovery with a little bit of a bearish divergence trigger wave to the downside, and it looks like we are kind of playing that out as of right now. The daily actually looks like it wants to recover. VWAP's headed to the upside here too as well, so I would imagine that we could be putting in somewhat of a nice little W pattern if we are to recover here and push back to the upside. We'll have to see exactly how much this momentum wave wants to recover to the upside. If we can get it back up above our last momentum hump, then we're going to be definitely looking for some higher numbers to retest. Taking a look at the 10-hour time frame. 10-hour time frame obviously sitting in that red money flow. We have a triple big green dots down here on our bottom Cipher B market cipher, but we're probably going to have a recovery back up above our 21 EMA here. It looks like it's wanting to probably push back up above there. Zooming in a little bit more, just seeing where we could find some recovery. Triple green dot down here too as well. It broke below one of our resistance lines or support lines, but starting to recover back up above it. Taking a look at the 4-hour, maybe some recovery that's wanting to take place here, but it does look like we could be getting another rejection here relatively soon. Yeah, it still looks like it wants to get rejected for the most part here pretty soon, but maybe going on into next week we could see some recovery on these higher trend lines here. So let's take a look at the 2-hour here. What we're probably looking for is maybe a retest right at about $81 or so, but if we can get up that high, we'll be lucky. As of right now, it looks like it's going to take a little bit longer to play out. We'll probably have a nice little dip to retrace, and then maybe a move back to the upside here. So let's see if I can start using my drawing tools a little bit better. So we could see something like dropping down here and then maybe moving back up there, something like that. So take it for what it is. But yeah, that's Litecoin. And then for the end of this, we will take a look at our dollar index value and just see how much the dollar is valued right now. Looks like the dollar is valued at about 90 cents as of right now. And see, that's why I don't like using the drawing tool, because I always forget to move back to the cursor. Okay, so taking a look at let's take a look at the daily on the dollars, just see where we're sitting here. Woo, the daily on the dollar. Just steadily dumping, making new lows. You know, this is just, it's pretty wild to see this. It does look like we are about to get another rejection here pretty soon. You know, we had a blood diamond here too as well, but you know, maybe a nice little trigger bullish divergence here, but I don't know if that's going to play out very well. It just looks like that we are still wanting to maybe head back down a little bit further. It looks like we could be putting in some Christmas tree patterns here on our mid time frames. But probably still wanting to see some rejection and continue back down a little bit further. Taking a look at the 2-day chart, let's see where we're at. Big green dot here on the 2-day, so obviously going to give us some fluctuation back and forth. But still, you know, putting in lower lows and lower highs, it doesn't look that good for the dollar value. And it does look like even on the weekly, we're still headed to a lower dollar value occurrence here. Let's take a look at the monthly, just curious on how this is looking. Money flow definitely rounding off here on the dollar. It doesn't look very, very good for us there either. So, so just be ready. Obviously, that's why big banks are moving into crypto, because they know that it is the future, and that's the only way to hedge yourself right now, either in gold and silver or crypto. And that's probably what it's going to have to be, folks. I mean, if you ever looked at Cliff High's data, Cliff High's data is playing out as it's playing out as it is right now. And so we were very speculative of all that data when the time of it was released, but now we are for certain that this is definitely going to be playing out just like the data was written. So get ready, folks. So the best way to do this is probably dollar cost average. Obviously, if you want to trade with us and learn about how we trade, you can join us on our Patreon page. But I think that's going to do it for today's video. A little bit longer of a video today. So I'll see y'all in the next one. Stay safe out there. CTO signing out. Peace.